Good morning, welcome to Josh's Jumpstart. Today we're going to be talking about tricks and techniques on how you guys can get more sales on the phones and on the doors today. Number one thing we want to talk about is be the authority, okay? You have to be the authority on whatever it is, the product or service you're selling. You need to sound like you know what you're talking about. Now, no, I'm not saying to show up and throw up all this information. That would be bad. But you need to sound like you know what you're talking about. So, here's an example. My son, Connor, when he was a year and a half, we were moving our house, and when he fell and he cut his lip open on the gate, like on the gate ramp for like the U-Haul. And you know your mouth, you go like this, it opens. If you went like this with his bottom lip, it opened up as well like another mouth. It was really gross. And it was really bad. So we freaked out. We said, everybody, okay, keep moving our house while we take our kid to the Instacare. So we drove to the Instacare and we went in, and guess what the doctor did, okay? He's looking at his chart the whole time, not even looking up at us, looking at the whole chart. That was frustrating. And then he's like, okay, so looks like you have this and this and this. It's like, number one, that set me off. I didn't like that. I wanted to take the clipboard and chuck it out the room. Look at me, dude. We're real people. Me, my wife, my son. Who cares about the clipboard? Put it down and talk to us, okay? It's very, very frustrating that he's looking at the clipboard and reading it, not talking to us, okay? You know, look at the clipboard ahead of time so you can be prepared and then come in and talk to us like you're human beings. The frustrating thing was when he looked at my son's mouth, he's like, yeah, this doesn't look that good, but, and then he's like, well, I think it's probably okay. You know, like, I think he'll be fine. Like, I was like, really? Like, that's it? You think he's okay? And he's ready to send us home. And we're like, hey, is it okay to get like a second opinion? Can we have another doctor come in here, look and see? Because I don't want my kid's face to get all jacked up and, you know, and have like, I don't know, some disease or something like that. Anyways, he goes, gets in the doctor. The doctor comes in, and like instantly, he connected with us. He's like, hey, what's your name? What happened? He's talking to us like real people. And he was like, yeah, you better go up to the hospital and get stitches. And I was like, oh my gosh. The difference between the first guy who wasn't looking at us, not talking to us, and really didn't seem like he had any clue on how to solve the problem. The next doctor came in instantly. He's like, yeah, you better go up and get the stitches. That's what we did. We went up to Logan Regional Hospital, and that doctor came in. And we had filled out paperwork. He knew it was on the clipboard, but he came in, he put the clipboard down, and he talked to my son. This is awesome. He's like, what's your name? Okay, it was Connor. He asked how old he was. Okay, and then he's like, man, let's see what happened. Did you fall down? He's like, yeah. He's talking to him, talking with him like he's a human being. And then he says, yeah, you know what? We need to get some stitches in there. It won't be a problem. It will take, they'll be dissolvable, and it will, we'll give him a quick shot so he won't be able to feel it. And then we'll stitch you up. You'll be out of here within an hour. What was the difference? What was the difference between Dr. A and Dr. B? Dr. A really treated us like we were like a car to look over, not a human being. But more importantly, he didn't sound like he was the authority. He wasn't the doctor. He was really clueless on how to solve our problem. Which my son, his lip had a problem. The second doctor, though, he was the authority. He came in, he was genuine, he treated us like real human beings. He asked what happened, and he gave us confidence by saying, this is what you need to do. He was the authority. And it's the same thing with you. Whatever it is that you're selling, you're doing door-to-door sales, you're making phone calls, products or services, you have to be the authority. And it doesn't mean you're talking down to people and being a jerk to them, but you have to be able to confidently look your prospect in the eye and say, you know what? I can see what the problem is here. Let me tell you what we're going to do, how we're going to fix this, and I am confident that you're going to be set, you're good to go, your life's going to be easier because this product, this service. So That's powerful. So let's go down a couple of specific things. So when you're knocking on doors, and if you're switching over from somebody's service, so if it's insurance or if it's knocking on doors, whatever it is that you're selling, you need to be able to have the confidence to tell them, hey, you know what, you're with this company. We love this company, because history has shown almost everybody we talk to that has this company, they all switch over to our company. Why do you think the customer might want to hear that? Because now you sound confident. Now you sound like you're the authority. Now you sound like, hey, I do have a problem. And you know that I have a problem. And you have confidence that now it's going to be a better solution by switching over to your product or service. That is how you're authority. You also, when you talk about their product or service, you never talk down, but you need to be able to explain to the customer specifically, most people we talk to are paying this price to this price. Does that sound about right? And you tell them what they're paying. You never ask them, you tell them, and you nod your head up and down affirmatively. Because what does that do? It instills confidence that you know what you're talking about, because you are the doctor of your product or your service. And you shake your head up and down because like, hey, you're probably paying right about this, right? And this is what you're getting, yeah? And the better you are at sounding like the authority, the easier it will be for you to be able to get the sale. And the same thing too is, if you're doing a product or service, if the company has like a billing system of a 1 month, 2 month, or 3 month, which one, when you're doing the comparison between the two companies, we talk about their company, should you use it in monthly increments or in 2 or 3 month increments? What's the answer? The correct answer is do the bigger number for their company. 2 months, 3 months, because it sounds like a bigger number. Okay? And when you do your company, use a smaller number and do it like in a monthly basis, because it sounds more dramatic. It's not being dishonest, it's just making the dramatic difference more dramatic. And here's the hint though. When you say their price, okay, most people are paying between $60 to $65 every 3 months, or whatever the price is. If they ever say, that sounds kind of high, don't drop all the way down to a really low number, just drop just below it. So you're probably paying $59 every 2 months. Yeah, we're 59. Oh, okay. And then say, well, we can do it for this. Don't ever assume, don't shoot yourself in the foot taking a shotgun and drop it down dramatically. If you ever say what the price is, you need to be able to stick to your guns and say, oh, okay, you're probably paying, and then just barely drop it down. And then if they even say it's something lower than that, you'll be able to say, that doesn't sound normal. You must have had to go through the pain of calling them and threatening to leave. And then when they say yes, like, oh, okay, what's your real price? What were you paying before you had to call and threaten them? Because that is their true number. Okay, so if you're with a product or service and you're switching services, you have to find the true number that they're paying. Because if you do the I'm going to leave number, the save number, that's not their true number, is it? Their true number is what they were paying before they had to call and threaten to leave. And that is powerful. And you got to be able to keep, number one, you have that confidence of like, no, this is what you're paying. And if somebody ever tells you something different than that, you need to be able to have confidence of like, wait a minute, that's not right. How did are you sisters with the owner of the company? Like, how are you getting it that low? Because nobody has been paying that. This is all I do all day long. And nobody's paying that price. And then I was like, well, I had to call and threaten them. Oh, now they're almost going to try to sell you. So write this part down. A sale is made on every door. Write this part down. A sale is made on every door. Either the customer sells you on their ability to solve a problem is better, or you sell them on their problem solving, their solution isn't a very good one. Because I've had it happen to me. I've been listening to reps as I'm training them, and somebody would say, I'm happy with my service, or I'm not paying that. I call them and they lowered it. What are they doing? They're trying to persuade you. They're trying to say, you know what? Every time that I get a flyer or something, I just call them and they lower it. They're trying to say that's a good thing. And I'm like, oh, so you have to go through the pain and the agony of calling them and threatening to leave, And you have to do that every time. And if you don't, they keep raising the price. What am I doing? I'm spinning it around and helping them see that, gosh, that's not very good. I mean, that's almost like somebody cheating on you, and then you catch them, and they say, okay, sorry, I won't do it again. Like, whoa, those sneaky little buggers are just going to keep raising the price, and then you call them and you have to threaten them, and then they lower it, and then when you're not looking, they're going to raise it again, and then you got to call them and threaten them, and they'll lower it again. Like, is that the kind of business relationship that you want to be in? You need to help them see, oh, you're right, that isn't very effective, okay? And you got to help them see what is their true price. Their true price is whatever they were paying before they got in the threatening game, okay? You got to help them see with us, we're not going to sneak the price up on you when you're not looking. And then you explain whatever it is your product or service offers. So if it's like out, like, hey, we price guaranteed for the year, like we have it guaranteed for 1 year, the price isn't going to change. Do you have that right now? Probably not. So you got to think about that when you're doing your approach. Go over that. That is powerful. You've got to be able to be the authority. And you got to be able to explain too the services. I'll sum this up real quick and then I'll be done. The services. What services do they offer? What services do they not offer? You need to be able to know your competition. Just like in sports. They watch the plays that the other team is playing so they can know where their weaknesses are, where their strengths are, so they can be prepared. So the same thing for you. What is your competition? Whatever product or service you're offering, what is it that they offer? And you have to be able to identify all of their strengths and all of their weaknesses. And you need to be able to be the authority. So when you talk to the customer, you can say, you know what, most people we've talked to, they like your current service, don't bag on them, and they like this. However, they wish that they did this or this or this, and they didn't really like this, this, and this. You've probably thought the same way. But people really like that we do this and this and this. So now you sound like you know what you're talking about because you are the authority on the product or service that you sell. So you have to be able to know all the strengths of your company and all the weaknesses and be the authority and help them see that all these things that they're saying, like, people are switching to us because we do these things that your current company does not. And I promise you that as you are the authority on trash, the authority on insurance, the authority on alarms, pest control, satellite dish, whatever it is that you're selling, real estate, it doesn't matter what it is. When you're the authority and you know what their needs are and you know that your product or your service is a better solution, you will get more sales. You'll be able to double your influence and double your income. Thank you for watching. This is Josh Barnett's Josh's Jumpstart, helping you accelerate your achievement. Be the authority and you will be successful. Thanks.